In today's video, we're going to be creating this interactive global emissions dashboard in Power BI. I already have Power BI open. You can go ahead and open a Power BI file. So the link to the dataset will be in the description box below. So this is what we have. So what you're going to do is get data from another source. And I'm going to select that. And we are going to select text or CSV, and we're going to connect. You can just navigate to wherever it is, and I'm going to select the data set and I'm going to open it. Just going to give this a moment, and your data set should look like this. So I'm not going to make any changes to this. We can just go ahead and load the data, and once again give it another moment to load. So my data set has loaded and it should be within this data tab here. And so these are our columns, and this is what we use to build our visuals. Let's start with formatting the wallpaper of our dashboard. So come over to this, which is format your report page, and I'm just going to click on it. Next, we're going to go to wallpaper, and then under wallpaper select color, select more colors, and I'm going to type in the color, which is FFFCF1, and yeah, we have, this is what we have. Let's start with a rectangle. So I'm going to go to insert, and over here I'm going to go to add shapes, and I'm going to select a round rectangle. Open this drop down, select this drop down for shape, and we're going to reduce the corner radius to 18%, and we're going to minimize this. Come to style, select color, more colors, and I'm going to change the color to 095F59, and turn off border. Under general, open properties, we're going to make the height 83 and the width is going to be 1265. Now I'm just going to move this around till it's at the center, and I'm just going to move it up a bit, and you'll have something like this. Next, let's insert another rectangle. So I'm going to come over here and select rectangle. Let's go over to shape. I'm going to extend this, expand that, and I'm going to change the corner radius to 15%. And then let's go to style, select this. We're going to go to more colors, and I'm going to change the color to FFD681, and let's turn off the border. Let's go to general. Under properties, change the height to 68, and the width is going to be 485. And I'm just going to grab this and bring it here, and I'm going to center it under rectangle, and I'm just going to move it like this. Next, let's insert a text. So I'm just going to select the text box here, and I'm going to type the title of our dashboard, which is Global Emissions Dashboard. And I'm going to select everything. Let's change the size of the text to 28. I'm going to change the alignment to center, and I'm going to select the entire text box. Let's go to properties. We're going to change the height of this text box to 53, and the width is going to be 440, and I think it has a fill. So let's go to effects, and we're going to turn off background. So I'm going to just grab it and bring it. We're going to center it to that this cream colored rectangle. The first visual is going to be countries with highest emissions. So let's create a clustered bar chart, and I'm just going to click on this and we should have something like this. Next, I'm going to expand this. We're going to grab country and put that in the y-axis, and emissions is going to go to the x-axis. Oops. Okay, so this is what we have. So as you can see, we have all the countries. We just want to limit it to the top 10 countries. So I'm going to expand filters, and here we're going to go to country, expand this, and under basic filtering we can now do top n, and it's going to be top, and then we'll show top 10, and then we can just grab emissions and add emissions to this. So we are looking at the top 10 countries by emissions, and I can apply filter, and that's how we can filter our data sets to the top 10 countries by emissions. But looking at this data set, you can tell that we have world, that's not a country. We have European Union, other, those are not countries, and it's skewing our data, so we can't really see the top 10. So I'm going to select world, right click and exclude. Same with European Union, right click, exclude, and then we have other, just select it, right click and exclude. And this time it's still maintaining the top 10 filtering, but now we can see that at first it stopped at, I believe, Nigeria or so, or was it Iran, but now we have these 3 other countries showing up on our charts. But yeah, that's how we can filter it and then just exclude. Power BI makes it very easy to do that. Let's now format the chart area. So let's come over to format our visuals, expand y-axis, and under values I'm going to make this text bold and make the color of your text black, and turn off the title here. Expand the x-axis, and under values make the text bold and change the color to black, and we're going to also turn off the title for the x-axis, and I'm going to close this. Go to grid lines, turn off grid lines. Next, let's go to bars and select color, and let's go to more colors, and I'm going to type in the code for this cream color. So that's going to be FFD98C, and we're going to change everything. And then that I will change it on category, select everything, and we're going to select just China. I want to just highlight the highest value. There's no reason to do this, I just wanted to do it. It looked interesting to me. I saw it on me and I just wanted to do it. So I'm going to change this one to that green color, which is 095F59, and I'm going to close it. So now we have China as the highest value with its own unique color, and I'm just going to close this. Let's now go to general. Under properties, change the height to 330, and the width is going to be 830, like this. Next, it's supposed to be 830. Okay, next I'm going to expand title, and let's change the title of this. So this is going to be countries with highest emissions, or can you say highest emission. And I'm going to make the title bold and just make sure that the color is black. Let's change the alignment of our text to center, and I'm going to close this. Now let's go to effect, color of the background white, leave it as it is. Now we're going to turn on a visual border, expand it, change the color of the border to white, and then for the rounded corners make it 10. Okay, so this is what we have, and when we build our visuals, there's not much contrast between the chart and the borders because it's white and really light cream, but anyway, that's it. So I'm just going to align it to the edge of this green rectangle, and I'm just going to move it up a bit. We may still have to move things around, but yeah, that's it. Oops, let me okay, that's it for this particular chart. Let's move on to the next chart. So for this one, we are going to use a stacked column chart, and let me reduce this a bit, and I'm going to bring it over to this side. All right, let's grab region, add region to x-axis, and we're going to grab emissions and add emissions to the y-axis. So once again, we have this world, we're going to remove it. So select it, and I'm going to exclude. Now let's format the chart area. Let's come over to format your visual, start with the x-axis, and make the text bold, and also change the color of the text to black. Okay, and finally let's turn off the title for the x-axis. Minimize that. Let's expand the x-axis. Under values, make the text bold, and we're also going to make the color of the text black, and turn off the title for that axis as well. Go to grid lines, turn off the grid lines. Next, let's go to columns and select it. Let's use the cream color once again. Now expand categories and then select Asia Pacific. Now change the color to green, and now we can close this. Now let's go over to general. Under properties, let's change the height to 330 and width is going to be 425. Let me minimize it. Then let's go over to title, and we are going to change this to emissions by region, and let's make the title bold, change the color to black, and we're going to align it to the center. Let's minimize this, and then expand effects, and under visual border, turn on the visual border, expand it, change the color to white, and change the rounded corners to 10. And I'm just going to move this, and I'm going to align it to the edge of that rectangle, and then I'm also going to align it to this chart. Well, yeah, this is the emissions by region chart. Let's create the next visual. This one is going to be a donut chart. Let me just reduce this. Okay, let's grab type and add that to legend, and we're going to grab emissions, add that to values. Okay, so now let's come over to format your visual. Let's turn off the legend. Now expand slices. Let's go to energy, and under energy we're going to change the color to this green color, and then expand this agriculture. We're going to change to the cream color, expand this again. For waste, go to color, more colors, and I'm going to change this to 81FF D6. And then finally for order, we're going to change the color, go to more colors, we're going to change this to 81EEFF, and I'm just going to minimize this. Now expand detail labels, and the position, we're just going to keep it outside, but I would like this to be somewhere, but for now let's just expand this. Let's go to this, so we're going to change this to category and percent of total, like this. Now expand values, we're going to make it bold and change the color to black. Let me let's close this. Now let's go over to rotation and let's increase the rotation. I just change it to 2%. We can keep going and just move it around till we're comfortable. So we could leave it at 10 degree rotation. So now you have everything just kind of sitting in their own space essentially. Now let's go over to general. Expand properties, change the height to 278 and width is going to be just 365. So for me it was just on just under that, so I just changed it to 365 for the width. Let's close this, go over to title, and we can change this to distribution of emissions by type. Make the title bold and the color black, and finally change the alignment to center. And that's it for the distribution. So energy has the highest percentage with 53.97%. Then we have agriculture, waste, and then finally we have other. And I just realized we missed a detail, so I'm just going to fix that now. Let's go over to general. In effects, let's go to visual border, turn on the border, expand it, change the color to white and the rounded corners to 10. To 10. Alright, this time we really are done with the distribution of emissions by type charts. Next is going to be distribution of emissions by reason. So we're going to use another donut chart, and let's grab reason, add that to legend, and we're going to grab emissions and we're going to add that to values. Let's come over to this. So let's select reason and we can just right click and exclude all. So we'll have vented, fugitive, and fled. Now let's format it. So turn off the legend and expand slices. So for vented, expand color, and we're going to use the dark green color. For fugitive, we're going to use the cream color, and for fled, we're going to use this lighter neon green color. And I'm just going to close that. Then detail labels, let's use category and percentage of total. Let's expand values, make the values bold, and change the color to black. And let's close this. Now rotation, let's use a rotation of 60 degrees like this, and we can just go back to general, under properties, change the height to the height is already 278, no need to change that. Let's change the width. The width is going to be 365, and let's close this. Let's go to title, and we are going to change the title to distribution. Distribution of emissions by reason, and we can make this bold, change text color to black. Let me just minimize this. Let's go to effects and then turn on the visual border, expand this, under colors, change the color to white and rounded corner to 10. And yeah, this is the distribution of emissions by reason. Let's create our final visual, which is going to be the emissions by segment. I'm going to insert a stacked column chart. So we're going to grab segments and add that to the x-axis, and we're going to grab emissions and add it to the y-axis. So this is what our emissions by segments looks like. I just noticed that I haven't centered my title. Sorry about that. I'm going to go to legend title and I'm just going to center my text, my title. Okay, let's get back to this one. So this is what our emissions by segment looks like. So you could exclude this one if you want to, so that you can have something that looks like this. If you want to keep it there, you can, but I just want to remove it because it just made the entire thing skewed to one side. Because if we redo that, you can see that we barely can't see anything for these other values. So I'm just going to exclude it. If you want to leave it, you can leave it, but I'm just going to exclude it. Now let's go over. Okay, I'm currently in the visuals tab. Let's expand the x-axis. So for values, make it bold, and we're going to change the color of the text to black. Then we're going to turn off the title for the x-axis. Expand the y-axis, and under values, make the text bold, and we're also going to make it black. Turn off the title as well. Now let's go to grid lines, turn off the grid lines, and I'm going to come over to columns, and while it's selected on all, we'll just change the color to dark cream color, expand that. Then we're going to select onshore oil, and I'm going to change the color to that dark green color, and we can just minimize this. Let's now go to general. Under properties, the height is already 278. If it's not, you can change it to 278. The width is going to be, okay, there isn't enough space, that's why I'm having this error. So what I'm going to do is just, looks wonky now. Okay, I'm just going to move it to the side so it has more space to expand, and it's going to be 515 like this. Next, let's go to title. We're going to change the title, which is going to be emissions by segments, and I'm going to make the title bold, change the color to black, and I'm going to center the text. Let's minimize this. Let's go to effects, turn on the visual border, expand it, change the color to white, and we're going to make the rounded corners 10. And yeah, now I'm going to move this so that it's aligned to the edge of this one on top, and I'm going to do the same here so that it's also aligned to the edge, and also with this one. Let me just make sure that this one is aligned, so now it's to distribute it evenly. So I'm going to select these three charts, and under format, go to align, and we're going to distribute horizontally. So now we have equal spacing for all of these charts. The final detail we can add are slicers. So this is what our chart looks like, but let's just add a few slicers. So let's go over to visuals, and I'm going to select a slicer. I'm just going to click on that, and we're going to have this. So I want to have a slicer for segments, and want to have a slicer for countries. So I'm going to start with segments, and I'm just going to add a field here. So let's come over to format your visual. Let's expand slicer settings, and we're going to make this a drop down. Next, I'm going to expand for slicer header. Let's just remove the header. We're going to create our own, so I'm just going to turn that off. And then for values, we're going to change the color of the values to white. You won't be able to see it for now, but we're going to change some items here. So we're going to go to background, and under background color, we are going to use this green color. So now when we open our drop down, you can see all our values here. And I'm just going to close this. Let's come over to general properties. Height is going to be 68, and width is going to be 200. Next up, let's come over to title, and we're going to turn on the title, and we're going to write segments. Let's reduce the size to 12, and we're going to make the text color black. I'm also going to make it bold. Let's minimize, and let's go over to effects. Let's change the background color to dark cream color, and we're going to turn on the visual border. Expand this, change the color to the same color with the background, which is this cream color, and rounded corners is going to be 10. And your slicer should look like this. So now we have this slicer will report connections, and maybe we'll exclude this one. Okay, so now let's create a copy. So I'm just going to right click, copy, and I'm going to copy visual, and then I'm going to paste, and I have a second slicer. Now let's go back to our values. I'm going to remove that field, and I'm going to add country this time. So this time the title is showing us segments. Let's go and change it. So I'll come back here, go back to general, expand title, and this is going to be country. So now this time we have our countries, and this we're just going to exclude that. Let me position them. So this one I'm going to move here till I have it somewhere around here, and I'm going to move this one too. Let me move this a bit, and I think that's fine. So we have our two slicers. Let's now report connections. So select the slicer, and under format, go to edit interactions, and now you can exclude whatever you want. So if we wanted to, we notice that when we're working with segments, this wasn't really changing as we would like. So I'm going to select this, and now when I select offshore oil, this one isn't affected. This is also segment, so what we're going to do is also exclude that one as well. So I'm going to come here, exclude segment. Since we're already filtering by segment, there's no point focusing on segment, and I'm going to just like this. So other parts are changing. This one, there isn't more change. Maybe we could just leave it. Maybe if we hit the right one, something will change, but nothing really isn't changing in this one. But if you want to, you could exclude that as well, but I'll just leave it as it is. Let's come over to country, and of course for country we are definitely going to exclude country, no doubt about that. So I'm going to select a country, and this time it's changing to region. So maybe it will be useful to figure out, what region does Cameroon fall under, what region does Cote d'Ivoire fall under, what region does Argentina fall under. So maybe you could just leave that, even though it's just showing one item, but I'm just going to leave it like that. But yeah, that is what our global emissions dashboard looked like. And with that, we've come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed watching, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.